So as golfers, and we're looking at new irons to go in the bag, we're looking at irons that maybe tick all the boxes. The looks, the feel, the performance. And I feel that Callaway have to come out with a new iron that is going to tick all those boxes. So we're going to take a look at this particular iron today in this video, and we're also going to pitch it up against another iron in a similar category and see how it stacks up against it in terms of performance. So welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's a very cold day down here at Penrith Golf Club. Hat is firmly on the head to try and keep me as warm as possibly can. I've done a bit of a warm up, so we're going to get underway. So the iron that I'm actually referring to is the new Apex DCB Iron from Callaway. So new range of Apex family for 2021 has obviously emerged, done review videos on my channel, so you can go and check those out. But they've brought in additional iron into the Apex range, which is this DCB. So an iron that is what Callaway is saying is a fast iron, it's a forgiving iron, but it's in that forged head, that forged category. So going back to what I was saying when I opened the video there, it's ticking boxes. As a consumer, I'm seeing more and more golfers aspiring to this Apex range, but maybe the ball striking isn't quite good enough to get the full potential out of that particular iron. So this is where DCB is going to capture those guys who want that Apex better players bracket of golf club, that looks, the forged feel, but they still need that strength, that power and that forgiveness, and this is the iron. So we're going to hit some shots with the DCB, talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to pitch it up against the Mizuno JPX921 Forged Iron. So an iron that's in that similar sort of category, still on that stronger side, but it's forged, and we'll see how they stack up together. Okay, so DCB, it's obviously a larger appearance down into that playing position compared to the standard Apex, and obviously then again up against the Apex Pro. But you know, it's a great shape. It is that sort of satin finish that you typically get with these more sort of better players irons in a way. It's that lovely shape. Yes, there's a thickish top edge here. Yes, there is a bit of offset, but you know, that is there to sort of help you. But the actual shaping of the head and the heel to toe blade length isn't absolutely huge. So it does give you that sort of better players feel, even though you know there's a little bit of more chunkiness behind it. Yeah, and that feels superb. It's a good solid sound to it, it's a good feel, you know, you've got that forged body. We've got obviously Callaway's technology in terms of those microspheres in there, which is helping a little bit with sound dampening. But you've obviously got cup face technology, we've got artificial intelligence behind this. There's loads of tech in there, we've got tungsten in there. So there's plenty of tech in there in terms of trying to help with the performance and those missed hits and keeping that ball speed up. Yeah, lovely high towering ball flight. So this 7-iron is lofting in at 30 degrees, so it is on that stronger side as you're going to expect in this type of iron, but it's not ridiculously strong as you'll see in more the full game improvement irons. So just post your comments down below. Is this a type of iron that would tick your boxes in a way? If you're out looking to maybe put a new set of irons in the bag, is the forged feel a big factor in there? Is the look a big factor? Is the forgiveness of the golf club a big factor? Is it ball speed you're sort of looking for? Or is it like all of those mixed into one particular iron? Love to hear your thoughts as always. So just, you know, fire those comments below what type of iron you're sort of looking at. For me, this is definitely going to be ticking a lot of boxes. Okay, your more players irons, for instance, like the Apex Pro, Apex MB, is going to sound different. It's going to feel different because it's just a different makeup of the head, isn't it? But I think, you know, trying to blend all those things together, this is an iron that I think will be very popular for a lot of golfers as maybe they progress from that game improvement iron, they're upgrading, maybe wanting to go into Apex, that forged feel, you know, upgrading in their ability of that iron. I think this is going to be a good option. Yeah, really nice iron, good feel. Looks to be a very nice sort of ball flight. There's 5 shots hit with the Apex DCB. Okay, let's shift into the Mizuno Forged and we'll pitch that up against this. Right, so Mizuno JPX921 Forged. So the reason I've picked this is probably a bit of a benchmark really in terms of quality of irons and also that forged feel. As the strapline from Mizuno is, nothing feels like a Mizuno. So obviously some very, very good feeling golf clubs. So interested, just pop this new DCB up against probably a bit of a heavyweight in this iron category. So the forged version of in the JPX family is that slightly stronger lofted golf club, but obviously that's forged head before then they transition to non-forged in their family. So this 7 iron is 31 degrees. So there is 1 degree more loft with the Mizuno against the Callaway, but we're not really going to look too much in terms of distance because of that 1 degree or spin, things like that. But I'm just more interested to look at the feel of the golf club, and if Callaway have produced that ultimate sort of golf club in their range that they've missed for maybe a few years. So let's get underway with this Mizuno. So obviously we know it's a great looking iron, a little bit longer on that blade length, just comparing the two heads, but maybe not as chunky on that top line, and maybe not as much offset. So a little bit more of a player's look, I would probably say, with the Mizuno against the Callaway. Oh, and that felt really, really good. So quite a strong right to left wind out on the range today. So you see that ball flight move that way, but I've got TrackMan on normalized, so you'll see how that just straightens the flight off as it's predicting the ball flight with no wind. So a good strike start off with there with Mizuno, and again looking and talk a little bit about that feel off the club face. That felt really good. Really good off that face, that soft, more muted sound you'd associate with a forged club. And again, very nice. So the sound, probably just not quite as clicky with the Mizuno against that Callaway. Just obviously bearing in mind the ball speed might not be as quick, maybe a little bit more spin, not quite as long a hitting with the Mizuno, just with that extra 1 degree of loft. But feel-wise, the sound, how that reacts off that club face, does feel really, really good. A little bit of a pulley on that one, but not too bad. And we're just trying to push that up against that wind a little bit there. It's just going to hang out. It's that right a fraction. But again, nice, solid strike. Oh, and that's beautiful. That's really good. Okay, so there's 5 shots hit there with the Mizuno. So I think in terms of the looks there, I think for me, I just grab the Callaway back in just to have a closer look. We can maybe just sort of see that chunkier top edge with the Callaway. Having said that, the blade length's a little bit shorter with the Callaway in relation to the Mizuno, which I quite like. But the Mizuno with that slimmer, mid-sized top edge, less offset in there. It's a little bit more of that player's iron, or granted we have got an extra degree of loft. But still, I think as an addition to Callaway, they've been lacking this iron, I felt. Obviously they've had Apex, you're jumping from them Apex maybe into Big Bertha, bigger irons, obviously non-forged. So I think this, for Callaway, is going to capture a market, isn't it? Those, as I said earlier, those players who are wanting that sort of quality sort of finish, that satin finish in there, wants to associate them into that Apex family, which is typically that better players golf club, but still needs that bit of power, that bit of forgiveness. So I think it's a good addition for the Callaway. Up against the Mizuno, I'm always going to go Mizuno on this front. I just prefer the look of that golf club. The feel of it is just a bit more where I would want to sit it as a forged feel. But again, post your comments in the section down below. Love to hear your thoughts as always. If you enjoyed the video, do share it around, hit the like button, but more importantly, do subscribe if you haven't done so already, and try and get up to that 50,000 subscriber following would be fantastic. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.